Good evening, learners. Welcome to today's English lesson. Today's English lesson is going to begin from something known to something that maybe you did recently, but we just do more clarification about things that we already learned. So from known, this is whatever we have been doing from your class 1 up to now, you are in class 7. So just to revise shortly about parts of speech. Parts of speech entails what we learn, what we interact with all the time in English. Number one being the nouns. The nouns are categorized into several types. And the first major type that we know is the proper nouns. And the proper nouns, very tangible example that we have are like Tom, that's a proper noun. Hence must be begun with the word, the capital letter, because it's a proper noun. All proper nouns must begin with the capital letter. Nairobi, Naivasha, Mount Elgon, those are proper nouns. Another type of noun is common nouns. And common nouns are the common items we interact with in our day-to-day lives. For example, a television, a glass, a table, those are common nouns. And they are begun with small letters, don't begin with the capital letters. We have the second, the third example, that is the third type of noun, that is the abstract nouns. Abstract nouns are nouns that we can't see them with our naked eye, but we can see them through somebody's action. A very good example is anger. When somebody is angry, if through his behaviors, you can see that somebody is angry, hence you can see anger in that person, but you can't see anger using your eye. Number two is verbs. Verbs are doing words, and these doing words are categorized into two. We have regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are ones that form their past tense by adding ed, like play, played. That's a very good example. And those are regular nouns, regular verbs. Then we have irregular verbs. We talk of rain. Past tense becomes rang with a and rang with you in the past participle. Those are irregular verbs. Then we go to pronouns. Which pronouns are words that replaces nouns. You talk of Tom is a boy. You can replace the word Tom using he is a good boy. So he becomes a pronoun directly. So that is a personal pronoun. And etc. That's a very good example. And we have other that we have ever learned. Then we have number 4, that is adverbs. Adverbs are words that are used to describe actions. We talked of a verb being an action word. So adverbs are used to describe how actions are done. And we divided them into 3 categories. We have adverbs of manner, that describes how some certain things are done. If you cooked, did you cook well or did you cook in which manner? If you walked, did you walk majestically or you walked slowly or you walked fast? Don't say fastly in that manner. So that one brings me to emphasize something shortly about adverbs that don't form words that don't form adverbs by adding ly. We have anyhow. Don't talk of anyhowly, but talk of anyhow. Don't make noise in class anyhow. So don't add l to anyhowly. Same to fast. Father goes home fast. He drives fast. Don't say he drives his car fastly. That is wrong. To show the manner in which somebody drives. Somebody can drive recklessly. Somebody can drive carefully. Number 5 category here is conjunctions. Conjunctions are words that they are called connectors. These are words that connect one sentence to the other or one word to the other. You can talk of Tom is sitting in between Margaret and Jane, meaning the position of Tom at the moment is between, in the middle of the two girls. So between there becomes a conjunction. And other conjunction, I talk of somebody died of COVID-19. He is suffering from COVID-19. And he tested positive to COVID-19. All these are conjunctions. No, those are prepositions. I mean, I've mistaken my numbers here. Whatever I've talked about, between and etc., died of, those are called prepositions. They are words that shows position of something. Then, lastly, talk of conjunction. These are words that are used to join, as I explained before. These are words that are used to join two sentences or one word to the other. A very good example of a conjunction here is the word beside. Beside becomes a very good example. Beside. Yes. Besides, I mean, not beside. Besides. Tom is besides Jane being a doctor, she's a farmer. So we are adding more information. So conjunctions are used to add more information to something. Like Susan is a girl. Susan, who is also our head teacher. So we are adding more information to that. So we can use conjunction of adding more information like and. Jane is a farmer and a doctor at the same time. So we are adding more information. That's why we talk of conjunctions. They add more information. We have even conjunctions of contrasts. Like you can use the word but. She is a good girl, but very lazy. A conjunction is used there to show that we are adding. Instead of saying Jane is a good girl, Jane is a lazy girl. You can say she is a good girl, but very lazy. That is a conjunction. So much for the parts of speech. It was just to introduce my lesson today. And then we go to the main thing that I want to do today. It's something simple that we ever done, but most pupils don't get them right. I want us to look very, very quickly into direct and indirect speech. Direct and indirect speech. So any given time, pupil, when you are given to tackle any question on direct and indirect speech, learners have often taken them that they are very simple, but there are certain aspects that if you don't look into very keenly, we'll always be getting our answers wrong. This is one aspect that has never missed in KCP because most people take it for granted. Because if you don't look at the marking points, very, very small things that are going to be here, that are going to be tackled here, we'll get them wrong. So number one example, I'll just give one sentence in the direct speech. Like Jane is sitting under the tree. Jane is sitting under the tree. Said mother. A very good sentence. The speaker, whoever is speaking in this sentence, is mother. Mother is telling somebody that Jane is sitting under the tree. Hence, Jane is sitting under the tree. That is the actual words from Jane, from mother. These are the actual words from the speaker, and the speaker in this particular given setting here is mother, is the one speaking. So these are the direct words from mother. That's why we call this statement a direct speech. A direct speech. You can't be asked that why do we call this a direct speech? It's because the actual words of mother are enclosed inside inside the what? The opening speech marks and the end of quote. And here you can see the opening looks like that. And immediately after the opening speech marks, there must be what? A capital letter. Be it when you have begun it with somebody's name or not. Perhaps we are saying that sitting down is good, said mother. That sitting, we will begin that essay with a capital letter. So long as we have begun, we have opened, we must begin with a capital letter. And then a comma must come before the what? The end of quotes. A comma must be there before the after the comma we must have end of quotes. End of quotes should not come before the comma. It should come after the comma. And then the first letter that comes after the comma must be small letter. And then the last thing here must be a full stop. The marking point is just that. Immediately after the opening, there must be a capital letter. So Jane is sitting under the tree, said Jane. So I want to change something a bit so that I can begin with small with the level talk of says. Says mother. So Jane is sitting under the tree, says mother. So when we come to look at the tense in which our direct speech is, this thing is in present simple because of this, says mother. So when you come to convert that sentence into indirect speech, we'll report what mother is saying at the moment, which is we say mother says that Jane is sitting under the tree. Very beautiful. Mother says, don't be conscious of this. The tense is present simple tense. So you don't alter with it. Mother says. Don't come now and say that mother said that Jane is sitting. No, he didn't say, he's saying it now. So mother says that Jane is sitting under the tree. And that is the fact that is there. So we have reported exactly what is there. Let me give another sentence in the past tense now. This is sentence 1, example 1, number 2. The driver is very reckless. The driver is very slow. Let me use the word slow. It's very slow. So opening speech mark has come there. Immediately after the opening, there's a capital letter. There's a comma before end of quote. And then who says? The driver is very slow. Father said. A very simple sentence. So we come to report now and say, Father said. You use exactly what is there. They said. So we use the word said. Father said that the driver, because it is in the past tense, this is will come to be was. Father said that the driver was very, very slow. End of our statement. The driver is very slow, Father said. Father said that the driver was very slow. So you must be conscious of something. You look at after the quotation mark, which tense has been talked about there. Says mother. And here we are seeing Father said, or said father. Why don't you now tell us what should be putting there? Mother says that Jane is sitting under the tree. That says must apply. This saying here must apply to show the tense in which every sentence is. More examples are like you're given that mother has been sick. James said. Mother has been sick, said James. James said that mother had been sick, We report exactly what somebody has spoken. James has said that mother is sick. We don't know whose mother is sick. But James has said mother is sick. Say James. James said that mother was sick or had been sick. Because I talked of a mother has been sick. Because of has been sick, talk of had been sick at the moment. So we have other verbs like is. Is will change to be was in the past tense. We have other words like today will change to be the following today, that day, tomorrow, the following day, yesterday, the previous day, and etc. Those are verbs that we have been interacting with all the time. Not verbs, but those words that shows time. We have been learning them all the time, and we know how to change them. So, just to end our discussion today, you will go to your English aid textbooks, and you'll go to the table of contents, open, direct, and indirect speech. Under that, there is work there that we are going to check. Look at the exercise there. Try to do as many questions as you can, and see if you can be able to see the tense of the sentence, and to see if you can work the question out well. If you are still going to get trouble as you work your sentence out, then we are going to interact. You're going to ask the question that is where you are finding it difficult. Where exactly are you not able to understand? Then we're going to check together so that you can forge ahead in a good way. So I wish you well. You're advised to stay at home so that you can avoid the spread of this contagious virus. Thank you and God bless you.